Hello everyone. In our previous tutorials, we already set up our OpenClaw on Google Cloud and connected Gemini. So this gave us a strong starting point for building a cloud-based AI agent. And now Google has released Google Workspace CLI, and this is a major development. So let's look at this Python classroom that is actually created by my AI agent. So my AI agent also generates those teaching materials, for example, introducing the GitHub. All right, so let's have a quick demo. So let's say create an announcement on the Python classroom about the new intro to GitHub document. All right, so now we can see that AI agent just created an announcement. So let's just refresh our classroom and we can see this announcement is being published. So the idea is that we can still send out our task through Telegram, and our AI agent can use the Google CLI to access our apps in our Google Workspace, and will be able to help us do all different types of the work. So for example, checking emails, schedule events on calendar, and also upload or share documents, create a Google Doc, create slides, and also manage our classrooms. Before we start, I also want to highlight this Google CLI documents on GitHub. So it is provided by Google, and just keep in mind that they said this is not officially supported Google products. So the CLI work for human and also AI agent. They have very detailed instructions about how to install the CLI and also how to authorize the CLI, and finally how to install those skills. So previously we talked about skills are just like the instructions for AI agent to use the CLI tools, and we can give our agent those skills, and specifically they also give us instructions that how we can install skills for our OpenClaw. So here is what we're going to do right now. Step 1, the cloud foundation. We will look at our Google Cloud project very quickly, and we are going to enable those APIs, and also we will generate this client secret JSON files that to identify our AI agent. So we already have one project that is running our cloud. So it is highly recommended that we create a separate cloud project because that will use different APIs. And step 2 is the local authorization. So this is where our second account that is a user account. And we're going to generate our user token JSON files, and which is the file that contains the actual permission. And then we are going to pass that permission to our AI agent, and then AI agent will be able to access the user's data and also to create like Google Doc or generate classrooms. So technically, you can just use one account as both account A or account B, but it is highly recommended that you use a separate account. So especially for account B, just in case your AI agent delete all your emails or remove everything from your Google Drive. All right, so now let's go to Google Cloud project. So you can see here we already have a project that to host our OpenClaw. So let's just create a new project. And for this one, let's give it a name and create. And once that project is ready, so let's switch to that project. Okay, so that actually is a purpose of using different project. So for this GSW CLI project, we don't need the VM, so we don't need to enable that API. So let's choose different APIs. So here you're going to enable the APIs that you actually need. So for example, we will use the Google Drive. So let's search Drive, and we are going to enable the Google Drive API. Okay, so enable that. And now you're going to repeat the same steps to enable all the other apps that you need. So you can see that I enabled Google Drive, Gmail, Calendar, Google Doc, Sheet, Slides, Task, and also Classroom APIs. And next, we're going to use the Google Authentication platform to set up the authentication. So let's go to Authentication. You can see it's not set up yet, so let's get started. So here we're going to provide an email, and that is an email that manages this Google Cloud. So you can choose that one. Of course, you need to give it a name, and let's go to next. And for the audience, we are going to choose external. That is our user B. We will allow the AI agent to use a demo account, and this is contact information. And next, you just say agree with the policy and also continue and create. All right, so now we can see the authentication is now configured. So now we need to add our client, and the type will be desktop app because we're using OpenClaw that actually running on the Linux system. So let's choose desktop, and here you need to give it a name. And now you can see that we have this authentication client has been created. Let's just download this JSON file, and we're going to use this one later. And of course, you should not share this one with other people as well. And next, we're going to add our audience. So our audience will be our test user. So let's go to audience, and here we're going to add our test users. So this is the email address of your demo user. I don't recommend you are using your daily Gmail because there's a possibility that your AI agent may delete all your emails or everything from your OneDrive. Okay, so here, so that is my user account. So I'm just using this email address. And now I just paste it here. Okay, and now you can see my test user has been added. All right, so now we set up the Google Cloud project and also enabled APIs and also downloaded the JSON file. We need to generate our authorized token. Because our AI agent is running on the VM that does not have a browser. So this authorization process will be 2 steps. So step 1, we're going to use our local computer, which has browser, and we're going to do that authorization first. And that will generate this authorized token. And then next, we're going to upload this JSON file to our VM, which is where our AI agent is now running. Okay, so let's get started. So if you're using Windows and if you haven't done anything like this before, you probably need to download the node.js, which you can just download this file and also install that one to your local computer. And once installed, you can just type these comments in your comment line that will install the GSW. You can see if I type the node that is installed, and if I type the GSW, and now you can see GSW is also installed. And this is also my download folder. You can see that the JSON file that we downloaded earlier is also in this folder. All right, so now we're going to run those comments one by one. And the first one will create a folder that called config/GSW. So that's a folder where we can install all the credentials. And the second one will just move these credentials to that folder. And next, so we're going to authorize those apps. So we're going to allow our AI agent to use Google Drive, Gmail, Calendar, Google Doc, etc. Again, you just give the permissions for the exact apps that you need to use. So let's run it. And now you can choose what apps that you want to use. So we're going to use Drive, Google Sheets, Gmail, etc. And now we have this very long URL, and I just copy this URL and just make sure that you are going to paste this URL with your demo account. So I'm going to paste. Okay, so now we log in with this demo account and we say continue. Okay, so this is your last chance that you want to allow our OpenClaw Workspace agent to access those files. So you can see we gave it a lot of permissions. So edit slides, edit or create Google Doc, and also edit our calendars, read emails, and also we can see we gave it a lot of the permissions for the classrooms. All right, so let's select everything and we see confirm. And now you can see we can close this window. And now let's just go back to our local computer, and you can see this authentication is a success. And the next, we're going to export these credentials. So let's just run this command. All right, so now if you check our download folder, and so here you can see we have 2 JSON files. So this is the original one we downloaded from the Google Cloud project. And this is a new JSON file that is the authorized credentials. And that is a JSON file that we're going to upload to our VM. All right, so now we need to go to our OpenClaw VM, and also we're going to upload the credentials and also install the skills. So let's switch to our OpenClaw project, and where we have the VM that is running. So let's go to Cloud Computer Engine, and we can see the VM is now running. And as I said, the easiest way to access your VM is through this SSH. All right, so now we access that VM. So if you go to the tutorials, you could use this one to install and I tried previously and it failed because it looks like that we used old version of the Linux. So instead, so we actually need to use this one. So we need to build from the binary. So we just installed Cargo first, and now we are using Cargo to build from the source. So this one will take several minutes. And again, we're going to upload all the comments into our LB Social blog as well. All right, so I think the GWS has been installed. Let's test it. So GWN version. All right, so now it has been installed on our VM. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to make a folder on the VM. And now we're going to pass our credentials from our local computer to the VM. So I'm going to using this method. So I will create an empty JSON files. And next, I'm just copy and paste the JSON file into this window, and I click next, save that one. So that's my approach to upload the JSON files. All right, so you can see as what I did here, I just copy and pasted content of the JSON file to this window, and I just hit Ctrl X, and I say yes, and I will save that file to this VM. Just run this command, and let's also lock down the permission. And if you want that permission to be permanent, and you can also run this one as well. Cool. So now we have passed the credentials to this VM. Let's test status. So let's just run this command that is called GW Authentication status. And we can see here we did pass our authentications so that this VM now have access to our demo account where they can access our calendars, classrooms, etc. And now we're going to install the AI agent skills. So in our previous tutorials, we talked about what are the skills. So essentially, those are the instructions for our AI agent to be able to understand and also know that how to use those tools. So you can use the provided instruction that to install those skills. But since we are going to provide all the skills to our OpenClaw, so we're going to actually download all the skills to the VM, and also we are going to copy all the skills to our OpenClaw. So we're going to choose a slightly different approach. Okay, so let's do it. So right now we are at the home folder. We can see we have the OpenClaw folder. So let's copy all the skills to our local folder. So, all right, so now let's search. So here we can see we have this new folder that is CLI. So that contains all the folder that from GitHub and also including this skill folder that has all the skills for the AI agent. So next, we're going to make another skill folder within OpenClaw. So that is by default where OpenClaw stores all its skills. And next, we're going to copy all the skills from the CLI into our OpenClaw skill folder. Okay, so let's look at all the skills. So here you can see we just copied all the skills to the OpenClaw skill folder. So let's look at OpenClaw and see if they have those skills. All right, now we can see that OpenClaw now recognize those skills like GWS admin, report, calendars, chat, classrooms. So they have all the skills. We are now going back to Telegram, and that is a chatbot of OpenClaw. And let's see. Okay, so I installed the Google Workspace on your VM and linked all the skills. And we can see the chatbot said, okay, so that's excellent. So let's see. Okay, so use the Gmail skill to check my Gmail. All right, so looks like the AI agent cannot find out the GWS and also the skills. So let me just tell the agent, okay, so I installed the GWS with binary build and the skills are stored in the folder. So let's also tell the folder name. All right, nice. So now we can see the AI agent find the binary and also is able to read my emails. So I have 20 unread emails. All right, so let's try to do something else. So let's say create a Google Doc introducing GitHub. All right, so that's very cool. So now we can see that document is being created. So we also have that content that also generated by this AI. Let's say create a classroom for Python. Okay, it says that this classroom has been created. So let's copy that link and go to our classroom. And let's just accept that invitation. All right, so now we have this Python programming class that's being created by this AI agent. So let's say if we can attach that document to this classroom. And we can see now it says we can view it in the classroom. And we did see that the stream was updated. So let's show it. And here we can see that we have new assignment where the instruction is that introduction to GitHub, and we also attach these documents. So let's say it can create an announcement for this assignment. All right, perfect. So now we can see we have new announcement. So let's refresh. Yes, we have this new announcement. Hello classes, we just post our first reading assignment and review it. So that is a 4-step and demo. So we used one account to create the Google Cloud project and configured authentications. And then we used a user account to authorize the scope locally through a browser. After that, we passed that authorized JSON to the VM, installed the CLI and skills, and connected everything to OpenClaw. And once everything was in place, the agent was able to create classroom, create documents, and attach the Google Doc as assignment and post an announcement automatically. So instead of just asking AI to generate texts, we can now start building agents that actually do work across Docs, Drive, Gmail, Calendar, and Classroom.